Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Six Pack. I'm James Kriess. You can find me at FF_Chef, and join with me, as always, Mr. Corey Spala.
cdotFF, Twitter's right there.
And Mr. Juan Carlos Pena.
Yeah, you can find me at FF One of a Kind.
And for those of you that are joining in for the first time, hit the like and subscribe button to be notified for everything Fantasy Intervention on our YouTube channel. And most recently, we discussed 12 top sells for the 2021 season. Today, we will continue our case study with 6 fantasy market buys. So let's get right to it, guys, and let's crack open the third edition of our case study. Cheers.
Cheers.
Some current fantasy managers may be writing off the 34th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft after having a poor first year, lowering his value. Pittman was somewhat of a letdown in his rookie season, and that is exactly why I'm trying to acquire him for the 2021 season now. He recorded only 40 receptions on 61 targets for 503 yards and 1 touchdown, finishing as wide receiver 79 in only 13 games played. He was thrust into action after Paris Campbell was injured in week 2, then injured his calf in week 3, which made him miss 3 games. Add that to no OTAs and no rookie minicamp last year, and there was very little time to build chemistry with Rivers. But the new picture of the Colts organization is now starting to be painted. Just today, January 20th, quarterback Phillip Rivers announced his retirement and has the fantasy sports community quickly speculating on who will be the next quarterback in Indy next year. And truly, none of us really know who it will be, not even Pittman. This also lowers Pittman's value on the chance that the Colts go for another bridge QB. Lastly, T.Y. Hilton is an unrestricted free agent in 2021 and will be 32 years old this year. I really don't see the Colts re-signing him. This pushes Pittman up the depth chart to an every down starter in 2021, raising his production probability. It's only a matter of time before Pittman really breaks out in the NFL. I'm not waiting until he does. I'm acquiring him now while the cost is still low and speculation still swirling. Right now, Pittman, according to Dynasty Trade Calculator, has almost equal value to Devontae Parker and a late second-round pick. So I would start with Parker by himself and look to add late-round draft picks to seem like you are spicing up the deal, just like your chef. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good one. So with that, I'm going to go a little outside of the box, and I am recommending acquiring those second-round rookie draft picks. So at fantasyintervention.com, we did our first 2021 rookie mock draft. This was your 12-team Superflex tight end premium. And let me tell you, there were some names in the second round that are worth acquiring multiple second-round picks for. So players like Javonte Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Terrace Marshall, and Chuba Hubbard, just to name a few. So even if a few of these guys slip into the first, that means a few of those players have to come back. So maybe a Rondale Moore if you are lucky. So do not forget that quarterbacks are their cheapest during a rookie draft. If Kyle Trask or Mac Jones fall into the second, whether you believe in them or not, and they have that first or second round NFL draft capital, this might behoove you to take them. The 2021 class is deep, and in a Superflex league, you can easily see 4 quarterbacks go in the first round. That means 4 skill position players are going to fall into the early second. Get yourself some second-round picks and benefit from this deep class.
I like that, C-Dot, and I like the whole running back situation. And my guy that I'm going to be trying to buy is the one I'm getting in all leagues. Everywhere I can grab a hold of him, I'm going to get him, and that's A.J. Dillon. So A.J. Dillon, he's the player that I'm going for. He's my number 1 target, but I have to do it now. We have to do it before the free agency period begins. The incumbent starter, Aaron Jones, he's undoubtedly a skilled running back, and he's put together back-to-back top 5 seasons. He was the running back 2 and then the running back 5 just this last season. But he is 26 years old, and he's unlikely to sign a new contract in Green Bay. They have to pay cornerback Kevin King. They have to pay Corey Linsley, and defensive tackle Kenny Clark too. So they're going to have a lot of contracts to go through, and they didn't draft Dillon for no reason. He was drafted in the second round with the clear intent to have him take over the backfield at some point. So after seeing Dillon break out in week 16 against the Titans for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns on 21 carries, the Packers should have seen enough to move on from Jones and hand Dillon the backfield. But the question is, Chef, what do you pay for the lead back in an offense that has produced 2 back-to-back top 5 finishes?
Oh,
You think you'd have to pay a first-round price, right?
absolutely.
Well, in this case, according to Dynasty Trade Calculator, you can get Dillon for a mid-second round pick. So
that's nice right now.
So the 205 to be specific. So obviously you can try the 208, 207, whatever it is you're holding.
I would try a third
if you can,
and work my way up to a second.
And if you can, so that value puts them at 6.8, and Dillon's value is 6.6. So now if you're like Corey and you want to stockpile all these picks, right, and you want to go get second rounders, so you want to hold on to yours, you can take an aging running back like Melvin Gordon, a free agent to be like Kenyon Drake, that are both valued higher than Dillon, and make the jump now. If they're trying to win now and they want one of those veterans, a well-known name, maybe they'll take a bite on that trade, and then you end up with a guy that has a chance to be a top 5. If you want to trade receivers, you can move on from Mike Williams, Christian Kirk, or Darius Slayton, guys who underproduced this year but still hold the value, and wide receivers a position of need, and maybe you can move one of them and pick up AJ Dillon.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I'm buying AJ Dillon everywhere. I don't have him right now. He's hot on the market. Another guy that's hot on the market is the rookie I'm about to talk about, and that's Gabriel Davis.
Like him.
Now, my normal rule of thumb is I trade away my older running backs and acquire wide receivers, and that is exactly what I'm doing here in acquiring Gabriel Davis. Davis, a 4th-round pick from Central Florida, was a surprise for the NFL, hiding behind Smokey John Brown for most of the season. But the games that Brown wasn't there, Davis shined opposite wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Week 3, when Brown had a calf strain, Davis caught all 4 of his targets for 81 yards. Week 5, Brown went down with a knee sprain. Davis went 5 for 58 on 9 targets. Then in week 10, Brown went down yet again, at this time for 5 weeks, one being a bye week, leading to Davis going on a 3-week stretch in weeks 12 through 14 where he caught at least 3 receptions and a touchdown in all 3 games, putting him at wide receiver 20 during those 3 games.
Wow.
So as a rookie, that's awesome. But the point I'm trying to make is that Brown can't be trusted to stay healthy, and ultimately Davis fits that perimeter wide receiver role in Buffalo probably better than Brown does. And he showed that pretty much through his rookie season. So with John Brown on the last year of his contract in 2021, I see Davis taking over the wide receiver 2 spot in Buffalo sooner rather than later. And I'm looking to acquire this speedy 21-year-old field stretcher everywhere I can this year to cushion my wide receiver room on my dynasty teams. And I believe you should too. According to Dynasty Trade Calculator, you could acquire Davis for an older running back in either David Johnson or Raheem Mostert and an early 3rd-round 2021 pick. So go and get him while there's still plenty low price on his asset. That's not right. So go and get him while there's still a pretty low price to be paid before he really breaks out in 2021.
Yeah, definitely love that one. And I like the points you guys are making to buy these young guys. So if you took my original route, you're getting those 20, 21 seconds or, late or early thirds. It is good to flip at those guys. So this kind of leads me into mine. So sometimes there's solid reasoning behind players to buy, and sometimes you just need to swing for the fences.
Everybody else. Well hit ball, there it goes!
So I'm swinging for Sam Darnold, the 23-year-old quarterback for the New York Jets. In Superflex leagues, more specifically, this can be a pitch that is knocked out of the park. Darnold has flashed potential throughout his NFL career, but he just hasn't had that supporting cast from the offensive line to the wide receivers. And I don't even think we need to start talking about Adam Gase. So, think Ryan Tannehill. Sam Darnold is likely super cheap right now, and he will hold a little bit of value in Superflex leagues. But you might be able to catch some Darnold owners who are on their toes and might not want to pass up on a 2021 second-round pick and maybe like a high-developed potential player. There is speculation that the Jets do not take Fields with the 2nd overall pick, and there is speculation that the Jets trade Darnold. Maybe the Colts are a intriguing landing spot with Phillip Rivers' recent retirement. So, as mentioned, Darnold is at a low value right now, and this is the time to take that home run swing. Scared money don't make no money. So if the Jets trade him or if they do not take a quarterback, you would have missed at a great opportunity to buy Darnold.
I like that.
Yeah, man.
If you're gonna take your shot, take it.
Take it.
Scare money don't make money. And yo, C-Dot, I'm following with you in opportunity, and that's what I'm trying to get this year in the offseason. I'm trying to get guys that have the opportunity to hit numbers and be top 5. And I'm taking that home run swing too. And I'm going to pay whatever I have to for 24-year-old wide receiver Deontay Johnson. I mean, he saw 144 targets. That averages out to 9.6 a game. That's what came his way, and that made him 6th most targets in the league. He hauled in 88 of those targets, which was the 13th highest in the league. So in the 13 games that he was healthy, that he played more than 24% of snaps, he had 141 targets. That's 10.8 per game. That would have put him on pace for 174. That would have led the league in targets each of the last 5 years, except for the Michael Thomas season when he had 185 in 2019. That's the type of company he keeps right now. But he did lead the league in drops. He had 11 of those this season. So that kind of capped his production a little bit. And those drops might be on the owner's mind, and that might be the narrative that people are pushing. Don't worry about that. Don't be scared of that, and go for it and go and try to buy him right now. He's going into his 3rd season, and he might see an even higher target share this season than he did last year. Juju's probably not going to re-sign with the team, and that's going to open up 128 more targets. Now, James Washington and Chase Claypool, they're going to get some of those, but give me the guy who led the league in hog rate this year with targets per snap percentage at 20.7%.
Huh.
So with a value of 24.2, according to Dynasty Trade Calculator right now, it's pretty high, but what he cost you is a mid-first round pick. So the 105 at 20 is valued at 22. So that's what it would cost you. But if you take the rookie fever into account and wait till we're getting to combine time, to pro day time, which is what they're going to have this year, those pro days, people are going to get hyped up with these rookies, and they're going to want one of them. And maybe you can get them off for a low end 1 or maybe a high end 2. Now, if you want to trade them straight up, just use a like for like. Get a guy that's older than him, like Mike Evans, Keenan Allen, or Cortland Sutton, and trade them straight up for Deontay Johnson, and you'll have a mini AB type ceiling on a player.
I like that. Waiting for the draft pick.
Yeah, waiting for the draft fever. We all get it.
Oh, absolutely. I love it. Thanks for tuning into our case study. Hit that like and subscribe button for more intuitive trade talks with the Six Pack crew. Dive into everything fantasy intervention at fantasyintervention.com for the latest fantasy football videos and articles. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at @joinourcircle_. And until the next time, we're out.